Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So I actually just realized that I'm the only woman speaker, but no pressure. I hope this is the remote, yes? Yes? Aha. Okay, wait, let's see how it works. Oh, there we are. Okay, cool. All right, so my name is Itumeleng Sekhu. I've just realized that I only have 15 minutes. So I'm going to try and flourish, all right? Are we happy? All right, so I got burnt from a candle when I was only 11 months old. I was sleeping on the bed, and then the candle then fell on top of the bed. It was a 70 degrees Celsius fire. I did not cry throughout. My mom and her brothers were in the very next room, and they smelled smoke. When my mom ran to the kitchen, she found that, well, actually nothing is on the pot. And then she ran to the bedroom and she found me burning. And by the time she picked me up from the bed, my right hand literally stayed behind. My right hand literally stayed behind. I was in a coma for 3 months. My right ear was completely burnt off. My mouth was also completely burnt off. My nose was also completely burnt on the right side. I was in a coma for 3 months. And then on my left hand, there was a white glove. And literally every single day, one finger would literally drop within that glove until I was only left with one thumb. So now here I am. I'm 11 months. And I'm in hospital. No fingers, no hand. Right hand side of my body is completely burnt off. And the doctor says to my mom, we're thinking that we need to switch off the machines because, I mean, what quality of life is this young girl going to have anyway? And then my mom says, if you switch off the machines, I'm going to sue you. A resilient spirit, yes? And that's my mom over there. Unfortunately, you can't see her. So now here I am. I'm a young little child. And I'm 9 years old, and I'm in class, and my fellow learner says to me, you know, you're so burnt, you actually look like a KFC. I mean, right? And I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, oh, but like, what do you mean? And then he says, no, you're burnt, you look like meat franchise. And then it started being a trend, and I was called KFC, muchachos, anything like Nando's and etc. And that broke my self-esteem to a point where I tried committing suicide 3 times. And my very first suicide attempt, I was in grade 5. My second suicide attempt, I was 15 years old with my late brother. And my last one, I was in grade 11. And I took 300 pills. And then I wrote a note to my mom and I said, hi mom, thank you for your love. Thank you for your sacrifices, but I actually don't want to be here. Wow. I am ugly, I'm not beautiful, and I actually, you know, I just don't belong. And then I drank my 300 pills, and then I woke up. On that very same bed, I was so annoyed, all right? No foam, no pain, nothing, right? I'm thinking if there was at least a little bit of foam, just to show, you know, that, you know, you tried something. And then in 2007, I met a very handsome man. Ladies, help me out here. And this guy had muscles to die for, right? The legs, husky voice, you know, perfect. And this guy says to me, I actually find you so beautiful. So now I look at him and I'm thinking, yeah, my life orientation teacher actually warned me about guys like you. You know, I know what you want. And then I'm like, no. And then he just keeps on knocking on that very same door until I ended up saying yes, right? And then we got married that very same year. Wow. No fingers to show you my ring. And then in 2008, my husband said to me, you have a purpose, and your purpose is to bring hope and healing to my people. And on that note, my husband's name is Jesus Christ. Hallelujah. And then I went to UJ and I studied media to tell my story from a broader perspective. And then I graduated from UJ, and I actually have a little joke about UJ. I then graduated from UJ, and then I started working in the media industry for the past 8 years now. My very first job was on a channel called 1G on channel 331, and then I moved to the SABC on Friends Like These, 3 Talk, Yo TV, making moves, and then I moved to radio, and I became a content producer for a show called The Sound Revival with Sibusiso Liope. And then I moved to another show, also on Metro, on a show called The Sacred Space. And then from there, so now I was surrounded by these celebrities, and they were getting free stuff. Guys, celebrities live on free stuff. Okay. And then I was like, you know what, my biggest expense, it's my soap, right? And because I've got very, very sensitive skin, I can unfortunately only use the soap. So then I wrote them an email because I wanted myself some free soap. And then I said, hi, Dove, I'd like, no. Hi, I'm burnt and I'd like to be a brand ambassador. So now I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, okay, the person that probably received the email was like, what is this about? Right? And then after 4 months, and then they make me a brand ambassador of a self-esteem project that they had. And then we started traveling across South Africa, motivating young girls. And this is what I found in that project, that as much as I was speaking to the most beautiful people, like yourselves, but those people actually had scars within. And that's when my purpose actually started making sense, because my scars, they're more external. Everybody can see them, but people have got scars. So now, the little joke about UJ. So like what happened is, after they found out that I actually speak, they invited me to come and speak, right? So then what I did was, I was like, listen, my school fees was very, very expensive. So then I decided to charge them half of my first year's school fees. And they said, yeah. And I was like, yeah. And then they called me again, and then I charged them the last half of my first year's school fees. So I literally went to school for free. Well, hey now. Right? And then, as I started motivating people, I then started having my own foundation titled the Itumeleng Sekhu Foundation. So as I've already said, that I've got very less time, but I like to focus on these points. The truth of the matter is, like I've mentioned, people have got scars within. And ultimately, it's only because we all have a story to tell. Am I right? However, people that do not find that healing power that actually lies within, they actually don't reach their full potential. And I'm going to make you 2 examples. Number 1, I've got 1 hand and I've got 1 finger, and I can type 35 words per minute. So now, statistics say that if you've got 10 fingers and 2 hands, you should be able to type 70 words per minute. So are you then reaching your full potential? Secondly, I've got 1 hand and I've got 1 finger, and I can drive myself across the world. But before we get to that, I'd actually just like to browse through this quickly. South Africa has the 8th highest suicide rate in the world, with 450 men taking their lives a month, and 4 out of 5 deaths being the result of suicide. SADC says that 23 suicides occur daily in South Africa, and more than 230 attempted suicides are reported every single day, adding that help is available to anyone planning on taking their own lives. Again, scars that are actually within. So someone said to me the other day when I was speaking, and this lady said to me, I hear you and you have a very great story, yeah, sure, like you burned and, you know, like, da, 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 da. But how do you actually do it? How do you actually wake up each and every single day and live? And I said to her, well, number one, like I mentioned, it's my spirituality. But number two, the very second thing that actually made me feel very vital in the world was finding a sense of purpose. And realizing that my purpose, I've got 5 minutes left, and realizing that my purpose is to bring hope and healing, that made me feel very important. Number two, believe in your abilities. And like I was bragging earlier, I can type 35 words per minute. Number three, develop a very strong social network, meaning people that you can actually trust. Embrace change. So when I went to UJ, I came from a very small school, and we were like 30 in one classroom. And literally, we were all alike, right? There were people on wheelchairs, there were people without hands. So if you tease me, I'm going to tease you back. Like, right? So now here I am, I'm at UJ, and there's like 5,000 of us in one classroom. And all these people are all looking at me, and I'm thinking, well, actually, I can't kind of tease you back because you look normal, right? So embrace change. In other words, be flexible. Number 5, I think, be optimistic. Always find opportunities where you are. And this one I'd like to focus on. I know I've got like 1 minute left, but we need to teach ourselves to actually nurture ourselves. How many of us are more focused on other people than us? If you're married, you're a husband, you're a wife, you're a father, you're a mother, you're a teacher, you're this, you're an employee, you're a worker, but you actually don't actually have time for yourself. And then it brings me here. Breathe again. It's time to just breathe again. Nobody is perfect. I'm not perfect. And let's just do a little exercise. Can we all just breathe in? And breathe out. Can we just do it again? Breathe in and breathe out. How does that feel? Right? Power. When I found my power, I became unstoppable. There's a very powerful quote by Lao Tzu, and he says, knowing others is intelligence, knowing yourself is true wisdom. Mastering others, that is strength. But mastering yourself, now that is true power. Because ultimately, power lies with I'm gonna literally just skip through all of this. Disability. Can I just have like 1 more minute? I have to say this, okay? So in South Africa, I'm labeled as a disabled citizen, am I right? And I don't have a problem with that, okay? And I'll tell you why I don't have a problem with it. Because there are lots of benefits. But let's just get the definition of disability a little while, yeah? The definition of disability is a physical or mental condition that limits a person's movement, senses, or activities, right? So now, the 2 benefits that I really love, it's number 1, we've got the most beautiful parkings everywhere in the world. Number 2, I don't stand in queues, ever. I just get to a store, and I go right in front, and I pay. You know, it's my legal rights, you know? As a disabled citizen. But how many able-bodied people have limited their dreams through their senses and thus limited their movements and activities in reaching their full potential? Thus, it's then safe to say that actually, disability, it's not the state of the physics, but disability is actually the state of the mind. And that's my book. It's titled, What Do You See? And I'm really done, like seriously. And the title of my book is titled, What Do You See? And I'd like to pose a question to you. What is it that you see when you see me? Because what you see in me is actually within you. When I started seeing me, I actually realized that beauty is not what you look at, but beauty is actually what you see. And that's when I found my beauty. Can we all just read this, please? I'm really done. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates us. And I've got my own quote, and it says, a candle tried to burn me, and a candle also tried to ruin me, but that very same candle lives within me. So allow your candle to shine bright. Thank you.